friends, it's Terry Stewart, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, located in Central Maryland. I'm back again with another celebration item that I've used in a creative way that I can't wait to share with you. So let's jump in. I'm going to turn the camera. If you get ill, look away because it's moving. And you're going to see my ceiling, my big light, my big head, and hopefully my crafting space soon. Okay, let's see if I can slide this down. All right, so there is the celebration catalog, and we only have 3 more days, well, less than 3 days, because it ends on Wednesday at midnight. So I wanted to come and share a project with you that's super fun. But before we start, let me show you the celebration catalog. Ends the 31st of August, so that's just a few days away. And with every $50 order, you can get a free item from this catalog. And I've been showing various projects over the last week or so. So go back and look at them. There's a hippos, that's a mouthful. There's some dies, so you could get those for a $50 order, one or the other. $100 order, you could choose both of them. And Rings of Love, I've done some projects with that. The Pool Party and Soft Seafoam is sold out, but I did do a project with that. The Stylish Sketches, still available. And today we have the Silver and Gold DSP. This is a 6x6, and I'll be showing you my fun fold today uses this. $100 order, you can get the amazing phrases. That's 17 photopolymer stamps. The Tree Lot dies have sold out, no longer available. Sorry. Wonderful World stamp set. This is a stamp set and coordinating DSP. So for a $100 order, you could choose this bundle. And very pretty, and I think I'm going to be back tomorrow with a project featuring that. Of course, during celebration, if you host or have your own order that exceeds $300, you can get this exclusive host step. Yeah, the only way to do that is to host a show or place a $300 order. Very exclusive. And if you join during celebration, just 3 more days, remember, you can get this Making Plans collection, which is a journal, notebooks, stickers, stamp set that has 28 stamps, and that's exclusive. You can only get it with this collection. So if you want to join my team, hit me up. I'd be glad to talk to you about it. In addition to these products, Stampin' Up! Also has added some products from the annual catalog that you can get during celebration. Now you have to use the numbers on this flyer, even though they're in the annual catalog or the mini catalog. And there are embossing folders. This brushed metallic cardstock has sold out. That's no longer available. You can get this silver foil, but that is low inventory, so that might go soon. And then with a $100 order, you can get dies, some flowers of home that coordinates with the blessings of home stamp set. There's this dots and spots. These cut out, it's a die, cuts out all those little circles. Aspen tree, that's in the mini catalog, and the daffodil dies all are available for free when you place a $100 order. And you can also get for a $50 order these little craft gift boxes. So lots of celebration, just winding down, just a few more days left. And then we have this online retreat, World Card Making Day. So this actually starts September 30th and runs into October 1st. And me and some of my demo friends are putting on this online retreat. And this is going to be a lot of fun. We're each be making 2 projects, an avid and a simple card. It's via Zoom. If you can't join us, there's going to be there will be links to YouTube videos so you can make the projects later. Prior to World Card Making Day, you'll get a PDF that shows each photos of each of the projects and all the measurements and ingredients that go within, so you can craft along. Register by September 22nd and you'll get a pillow gift. contact me for more details. I'd love to have you join me on this World Card Making online retreat. It's going to be a blast, I know. So, my project today features the silver and gold DSP for Sale-a-bration. You can only get that for a few more days. I saw Dawn Griffith do this card on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I've got to make it. So I have made it with the Well Done. So it's called a double door pop-up. So you flip this up, these double doors open, and then you have another little card inside. Now I've used the Well Done, so it's got the whale, it's very nautical. You get these little fishes, and you can pop it up and say, hoping your birthday fishes come true. I think it's like super, super cute. So I took the DSP and I actually, with my alcohol blends, my Stampin' Blends marker, I colored the DSP. So let me show you what I've done here. So here's the Well Done stamp set, and we're using a lot of images out of this stamp set. We're using the whale, and there's a coordinating punch, the seaweed, these little bubbles, the little fishes, this sentiment, the big deal sentiment. I think that's, yeah, there's 15 stamps, and I think I've used like half of them, or maybe more. And here is the coordinating whale punch. So we're going to punch out the whale, we're going to stamp the whale and then punch him out. But before we do that, let me bring in my card kit. Now this was a project we did in my club. I have a monthly stamp club, and I cut everything for them, and they come and assemble. I would love to have you in my stamp club, whether you're available locally or you are long distance. I can hook you up with a kit, and you can craft these, make these projects. I'd love to have you on my team, on my club. So just call me or give me a shout out, and I will add you to my club. There's a lot of benefits, and I'd love to share that with you. So I did not have the colors I used on this is the whale was stamped in Starry Sky, which is in color, and the base is in Soft Succulent. I do not have the markers, the blends markers, so I substituted my light Bermuda Bay and my light Night of Navy, and I made up this random pattern on this sample where I did 2 blues, skipped 2, did a Bermuda Bay, skipped 1, did a Bermuda Bay, skipped 1. And so I was kind of trying to do that pattern here, but I got a lot off track on this one. So I did 2, skipped 2, did blue, then I went back to skipping. Anyway, I was going to show you how I did this. So let me get my scrap paper, because I love to keep my work very pristine, as we all know. So I am now at the part where I'm going to bring back my light Night of Navy, and I'm using the thin bullet end, and I just found this out the other day. This line means the thick brush end, and this thin line means it's the bullet end. Who knew? But that's pretty nifty. So I'm going to skip 2, and I feel like this bullet end gives me more control. And I can go over the silver line because it's indented, so it doesn't pick up the ink. And then my pattern will be to skip 2, so I'll leave that as it is. So that part is done. And then here are these panels. And you can see I had a little mishap, but that's going to work out fine. And I wanted to, so I finished this one where I did 2, skipped 2, did my Bermuda Bay, skipped 1. I should have skipped another one, but it's going to work out fine. So it doesn't have to be precise. And then this one I wanted to do a Bermuda Bay marker. And I'm going to skip 1. Again, just come down, stay within the lines. And you do have to watch these markers because they will bleed. Definitely bleed on the back. But the ink does spread out, so you have to be cautious of that. So I think that's all the markering. You can see on the back it does bleed through a little bit. So I've done the markering. Now we're going to do some stamping, and there is quite a bit of stamping on this. So I've done a die cut with my stitched rectangle dies. I cut this piece of white out. We're going to stamp on that. We're going to stamp on the inside. We have these two doors. We're going to put some fishes on those. And then we have this piece in the card on the inside, the white piece. And that's going to stamp on the outside and on the inside of this. Okay, so we have, let's get stamping. First thing, before we do this, let's stamp on a scrap paper, because I'm going to do my starry sky. I'm going to do a whale in that. So here is my whale. I'm going to ink him up. It is photopolymer, so you can look through and see where to place him. And we'll do the punch first. Close this up because I will put my finger in it if it's open. I think everybody else probably has that same problem. And you can see this is just a random scrap that I had left over from something. And I'm going to put my whale into my die and line him up. I'm going to bring him down just a smidge. There we go. Perfect. There's our whale. I can put my punch aside, and now on this part I know I'm going to put my whale kind of like here coming up, and I'm going to stamp these little air bubbles right above him, and I'm going to do that in Starry Sky since I have that ink out. So this is kind of coming out of his blowhole, I guess it is. There we go. And now we can stamp some of the seaweeds. So I have this long seaweed and I have a short seaweed. Nope, that's not the seaweed. Here's the seaweed. Long and short. And I think I'm going to bring back my scrap piece because I don't want to get ink on my pristine workspace. It's just how I roll. So this is soft succulent, and I can ink this up. Now this ink was this stamp was a little bit larger, so it doesn't quite make it all the way to the. I want to keep it lower on my die cut, so it will go off the edge. And then I use the smaller stamp twice. I stamped once going this way, once to the left, then I re-inked it and stamped it off to the right. Okay, so now the front of our card is completed, and we can move to the insides. Now I'm going to do these panels. So these are the inside doors, and they have little fishes on them. And I found out from one of my stamping buddies that you can actually put the fishes going in two different directions. And I was like, well, who knew that? Isn't that pretty nifty? So you can stamp them coming in from the right. So on this way, we'll put them kind of in the middle. So they're going to be coming in from the right. And then we'll have another swarm down here. And then you can turn the stamp over, and then they'll come in from the left. So they really are multi-directional. I thought that was like somebody really was thinking when they made this stamp set, that you could turn it to different directions and have your fish meet in the middle. Isn't that super cute? I thought so. And then on the front of our inside card, I'm going to do You're Kind of a Big Deal. So I'm going to ink this in Starry Sky and just put this right in the center. So okay, and since we still have our Starry Sky out, let's open and see what's inside of this card. So we can hope all your birthday wishes come true. So I have that mounted on this. Like I said, I was like using all kinds of, lots of stamps in this. So I have a lot of my blocks in use. And I'm just going to center this. This is the best saying, hoping all your stamping fishes come true. And we'll bring our fish back and have these come in from the left. And I'll do a few more down like this. So they're bringing the birthday fishes' wishes with them. And then I'll turn the stamp around and have these come in from the right. Super cute. And while I have my envelope out, I'm going to stamp some fishes on those too, just because I can. Who wouldn't love to have a fishy envelope coming their way, right? All right, now we're done with the Starry Sky, and the last little bit is Soft Succulent, and that's going to be on the front of our card. And again, with these kelpie seaweed, I guess that's what you call kelp seaweed. And I'll have this one maybe just a little bit lower. And the last little kelpie seaweed, I'll do another one down here. And that is all the stamping. So now we get to the fun part of assembling this fun fold card. And it's really not that difficult. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some mini dimensionals on the back of my, maybe back of my whale. Put one up here on his tail, and then a few on his body. And that will pop him up. I love dimensions on my card, or bringing dimensions to my card. And take this off, all these little covers, and then put our whale swimming across that panel. That is all the dimensionals. So now we're going to come to the little bit tricky part. So we should have two of these pieces. Now Dawn Griffith, she shows how to do it in her tutorial, and I would highly recommend that you go and follow her tutorial. So when you have these two pieces and they're exactly the same, and there's a score down the middle, and then from this corner down and this corner down, and this is the 1.5 inches. So I made little pencil marks at the 1.5 inches, and then I scored from the corner to the mark and from the corner to the mark. And then I cut up the score line to the middle and then down the middle and remove that piece. And we'll do that for both of them. So up to the middle and then down the middle and remove that piece. And now next thing is you want to fold on these. I want to burnish these score lines. So I'm going to fold it in half and burnish. And I'm going to do the other way too. You want them very bendy. So you want to fold on those score lines and then burnish them back and forth. And then there's this little triangle up here, and you want to do the same thing with those. Is fold and burnish both directions. Fold, burnish, and then fold again. And once you've done all those folds and burnishing, and then you'll see how this mechanism goes together. Okay. So I'm going to bring my card base. These aside. And I'm going to, this is also scored. I'm burnishing that. So when you have your card base, this cutout goes to the right and this cutout goes to the left. And you're going to put glue on the left hand side. The mechanism is on the longer piece. You're going to put glue on from the point all the way down and glue that. Now I have to look at this because, so this piece that's cut out will go on the left and the glue goes down this side. All right, so the mechanism, the cutout part goes to the left, glue on the left. And then fit this right up against the edge of your cardstock, and the point should be right at the score line of your card base. Like so, and then this part gets folded over, and you're going to put glue right on this little triangle so it attaches to the top. So just on. So now we have the cutout part attached. Fold over the non-attached part. Fold over the little top and put glue right here on this triangle and fold this part down. And just hold that for a second so it attaches. And then we're going to do the same with this one where the cutout part's to the right. Put glue on the cutout part. And line it up with the edge on the right, and the point goes right into the score line at the top. Now I have to move this. This is where it's good to have liquid glue to assemble. It's a little forgiving. And so now it's glued on that part. We'll fold this part down, and this little tiny triangle up here, put glue on that, and then fold down the top. And that's, so now we've made our base, and we can take, let's see, where's my, this is my DSP part, and that's going to cover this panel over here. So this is the DSP that is the Sale-a-bration. Very narrow little pieces here, and they go all the way to the top. And just center it in that space. And same with this DSP, this piece. So this just covers that mechanism piece. And then our card base goes right in the center. So our second little card that's a pop-up, where it's kind of hidden inside the pop-up, that's going to go right in here. And let's see, now these, I call these the doors, and they are going to go inside right here, get lined up with the bottom. So first I want to put on my covers. This is the little fishy covers. Goes on one, and there's a narrow little border with that, and then our other one. So this card takes a little bit of putting together, but I think it's well worth it. I mean, I love fun folds. Love them. Okay, so we were going to have these come in from, oh, there's one of those covers. They're everywhere. These doors are going to, and you want to make sure that it's below that mechanism so it doesn't hamper the closing. So I'm just going to put some glue on that left hand side, and then make sure I'm under that, below the mechanism, so it doesn't impede it opening and closing. And then on this side, the glue is going to go on the right, and the same thing, line it up with the bottom and just below that mechanism score. And then we can put our doors on the outside. These will be the covers of the doors. So once you get the mechanism, you can put your card together, and this should cover those doors. There we go, right to the top. I think I might have a little overhang at the bottom, but I'll take care of that once this is all assembled. Okay. And then this one, the same deal, where I will adhere that. I'll need to trim this up a little bit, I think. I want to line it up with the door frame. Scooch that over a bit. Good thing I have glue, so I can reposition it. And it is hanging over a bit on the bottom edge, so I'm going to snip that off. There we go. And this just needs a little bit of a trim. Nice. Okay, and then the last piece of DSP we're going to put on is this topper for the outside flap. And just layer that so it's somewhat centered up there. Looks nice. And then for our focal piece, I'm going to adhere my whale to my starry sky layer. Just give that a small frame. Isn't he cute? Don't you just love that whale? And then this piece goes on the front, and that looks about right. So I'm just going to put glue up here on the top of part of this focal piece to put it on, and center it right and left. That looks about right. Looks correct. These are a little a little wonky down here. Let's see if I can trim this up a little bit. That's better. Much better. Alright, so there you have the double door pop-up card featuring the Celebration Silver and Gold cardstock that DSP pack that you can only get for a few more days. If you're interested in joining my stamp club, we meet monthly. I'd love to have you as a member of my club. Hit me up if that's something you'll be interested in. Remember, the online World Card Making Day retreat is coming up. If you have any questions, I would love to chat with you because I think it's going to be a blast, and love to have you join us. Remember to like and subscribe this video if you're watching on YouTube. The link to this there's a link to my blogspot, stampinghair.blogspot.com, below in the description, where you can get all the measurements and the link to John Griffith's video for this card. Subscribe and like to my channel so I can bring you even more fun stamping projects. And until next time, remember, stamping is fun. Bye.